All right, you guys. So today's bite of knowledge, we're talking about digital detoxing. And if you've ever tried to do a social media detox or digital detox, and then the next day you're just back on social media again, you're like, I can't do it. So I'm going to share some tips on how to digital detox without actually digitally detoxing. And you may be a little bit confused about what the heck that actually means, because we can be more productive. We can protect our mental health for sure. There's so many benefits of a digital detox, but I also know that a lot of us work on social media. So you can't just quit your job, right? So it's kind of a catch-22. So you don't have to go cold turkey when it comes to a digital detox, because again, like for many, our jobs and income greatly rely on social media and need our attention. So grab a notepad because you're listening to the Digest This podcast, and I'm your host, Bethany Cameron. Let's get right into it. Approximately 92% of Americans are nutrient deficient, and nearly 50% are deficient in vitamin B12 specifically, which can lead to issues like anemia, vascular disease, stroke, autoimmune conditions, fatigue, and even dementia. Vitamin B12 is the only vitamin that we cannot get from plants or sunlight. It is the only vitamin found in animal products. And the richest source of natural vitamin B12 on the planet is grass-fed beef liver. In fact, severe B12 deficiency used to be fatal until scientists figured out death could be prevented by feeding patients raw liver. Now, I'm not going to eat raw liver, and I'm sure you aren't either, but I am a huge fan of consuming meat organs. However, I know most have a difficult time with either the taste of them or simply just digesting them. But organ meats such as liver, heart, and kidneys are some of the most nutrient-dense foods in the world. I would hate for myself or anyone to go without them in their diet. That's why I personally opt for Paleo Valley's grass-fed organ complex. It's a blend of grass-fed liver, heart, and kidneys that's dehydrated and put into a capsule form to easily be consumed with any meal or glass of water. Just 3 ingredients and no fillers, no flow agents, and no additional ingredients are added. It's made with 100% grass-fed and grass-finished beef organs, never given antibiotics, steroids, or hormones. It's also gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and gently freeze-dried to preserve the nutrients, making them bioavailable for easy digestion and absorption. They're easy to swallow with no flavor or aftertaste. Each bottle is a 30-day supply, and there's no subscription required or needed. Buy just 1 bottle or 3. I am personally obsessed with these and can truly notice a difference. And not just me. The last time I shared about these in my Instagram stories, I had followers really saying how they started taking these as well, and they also felt just so much better, and it's been helping their anemia. So if you're not sure about them, Paleo Valley has a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. So if you aren't thrilled with your order, just let them know and they'll refund you without any questions asked. You really have nothing to lose and all the health to gain. Just go to paleovalley.com/digest for a special discount. Plus, if you order 3 bottles, you'll also get free shipping and handling. So again, go to paleovalley.com/digest to receive a discount and free shipping and handling when you order 3 bottles. All right, so as mentioned, our jobs and income greatly rely on social media and need our attention, which leaves many of us in a catch-22 when wanting to digitally detox. We need to be on to run a business, yet it's slowly causing mental health issues, disrupting our relationships, shortening our attention span, and honestly, just making us lazy. So, how do we detox without detoxing or going offline for a week, days, or even 24 hours? Because in most cases, even going off social media for 24 hours can cause hiccups to some businesses. But if you can, I would recommend at least one full day off social media or even a full weekend and see how much world is actually out there. We have lost our ability to enjoy nature, or for some, like even we've just forgot what it actually feels like to be in nature, which is just crazy. In fact, do it for your health. Like just do it. Studies actually show that being in nature and away from technology can greatly improve our health, both physical and mental. It's also been shown to help reduce stress when we unplug for a few days. Depression and anxiety have also been linked to social media usage. All that said, I want to share some tips and ways we can all digitally detox while still being on and connecting. Okay, so here are some of my tips and tricks for Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and other similar apps. Tip number one is, first of all, unfollow people. All right. So I love the unfollow button. That's like pretty much a no-brainer and straightforward. But by unfollowing people and purging the shows you follow or the accounts you follow, you tend to see less, things pop up less, and you see more of what you actually want to see. So by just scaling down who you follow, you don't see all these things popping up, and you just see really what you want to see pop up on social media. So that's really tip number one. Tip number two is you can actually mute people, at least on Instagram. I'm not sure about like TikTok and Facebook, but Instagram specifically, you can mute people. So now I know like unfollowing some accounts may feel odd if perhaps they are a friend, coworker, or even acquaintance, and perhaps like you don't want to offend them by unfollowing. So there's a tip. There's actually a mute button where you can mute that account, which essentially hides all of their posts and or stories. So you can have the option to mute their posts or mute their stories or mute both. So you don't see them, yet you are still technically following them. And the person or account won't get notified that you muted them. So this could be a good option if you don't want to fully unfollow. Here's another tip too. You can also favorite people you want to see more of with the star button. Again, at least this is for Instagram. So if there are accounts that inspire you more or that you feel are more benefiting to your health and want to see more of, you can actually favorite that account with a star at the top right of their profile. Then their stuff like just pops up first and more often, their stories as well as their posts and reels. So if you go to like the little 3 bars at the top right of their profile, I believe that's where it is. And then you can just go and tap the favorites, and then they're in your quote favorite category. Now set your notifications on off. So turn them off. Everyone should do this. I don't think I've ever had notifications on myself, actually. I mean, for me, I get countless notifications every couple of seconds on Instagram. Yes, I said seconds. So my phone would literally be blowing up if my notifications were on. So, but even for anyone, you should not have notifications on, and don't feel guilty if you miss people. Like if you miss a message, if you miss a comment, like don't feel guilty, and don't feel guilty if you don't respond to them. I mean, they have to understand you have a busy life and you have to take care of your mental health, first of all, of your business. And I mean, sorry, like sometimes I'll just have to say it. I don't feel guilty if someone asks me what color nail polish I'm using and I don't respond. Like I have to I have to pick and choose here. And I love getting those questions. But if I'm in a time and place where I just can't be bothered by just those types of questions or, the fly on the wall, then, I just have to go on with my life and I can't feel guilty about that. So just don't feel guilty about things like that. And you have to take care of your own life, your family, your business, and really, obviously you have to take care of what's truly important. Now, time blocking is so helpful. If you don't time block, you should start doing it. Now, this is basically where you only allow certain times of the day where you get on social media. Maybe it is at 2:00 in the afternoon, or maybe it's once a day between this time and this time. Or maybe you make a rule to yourself where I'm not going to go on social media when I am outside of my house. So if I am away from my home, I'm not going to turn on social media. If I'm in line, I am not going to look at my phone. I see so many people, they're in line and they're on their phone. I get it. You're trying to pass the time away. You're in line. You don't know what else to do, right? But I mean, think about it. Before we had phones or before we had like smartphones, what did we do? We sat in line. And maybe we struck a conversation with the person next to us. Who knows, right? Remember, like magazines were actually a thing in waiting rooms. So think about stuff like that. Maybe take a book with you. Get a good book and just bring it along with you wherever you go. So instead of reaching for your phone, you reach for your book. That's another just tip there, is to make rules for when you go on social media. Again, I know it's hard if you run a business and you have to do this for your job. So I'm just giving suggestions here. And obviously you can make the smart choice for yourself. Not a lot of people know that tea bags are full of toxins, and when heated, these toxins can easily leach into your drink. I am trying to educate myself and others more and more as studies and research continue to evolve. Not to mention the toxins and chemicals sprayed on the actual tea leaves and herbs commonly mixed into the toxic tea bags. And a lot of companies are now adding natural flavors to their teas. And we all know from my viral Instagram video that natural flavors are not natural at all. They're made in a lab and are added to products to make you more addicted to that product. Natural flavors, toxins, and chemicals are hijacking our taste buds and disrupting our endocrine system and gut health. That's why I appreciate Pique Tea. They triple toxin screen all their teas for purity, ensuring no mold, pesticides, heavy metals, or harmful chemicals are in their tea crystals. And yes, even though they're all certified organic, Pique Tea still takes the extra step to screen all their powders. Another thing I love is that their green teas, black teas, and herbal teas are in powder form, so no toxic tea bags are being heated. Each serving is individually packed, so you can easily pour one serving right into your cup, coffee mug, or blender. Their cold extraction technology gently extracts and preserves active compounds and phytonutrients from their organic ingredients, distilling them into their most bioavailable and maximally effective form. Their patent technology synthesizes the most bioactive isolates from whole food sources to deliver payloads of essential nutrients into your cells for enhanced absorption. And if you're looking for a coffee alternative, Pique Tea has a blend called Chaga Energy Elixir, which is 100% caffeine-free, yet still gives you energy without the jitters and can even provide a calmness at the same time. The adaptogenic properties of their wild harvested chaga, burdock root, and North American ginseng support cellular rejuvenation. Like all their teas, this blend is organic and contains no natural flavors that, like I mentioned, surprisingly, many tea companies are adding to their products now. So be on the lookout for that, you guys. Another top seller from Pique is their ceremonial grade matcha powder. This one is actually quadruple toxin screened because matcha powder can be so heavily sprayed, and it's a rare find to come across a good quality source free from chemicals. So There's zero preservatives, zero refined sugar or additives, and it contains EGCG, known to help firm and brighten skin, as well as L-theanine, which promotes calmness. And it gets even better, you guys, because Pique Tea offers a free return policy within 30 days. So if you try something and you're not happy with it, just send back what you didn't use for a refund. You guys know I have a deal for you as well. So if you go to peaklife.com/digest, you can receive up to 15% off plus up to 2 free gifts. That's PIQUELIFE.com/digest to get a discount and some freebies. Okay, so here's a really good tip. Move your app or apps into a folder so it's harder to get to. Then you'll be less tempted to just conveniently tap on it on a whim. So just make it a little bit harder to tap on that app, and most likely you won't tap on it if you have to go into a folder or to another page, etc. Now, another way to get off, quote, social media is you can actually start following your favorite social media accounts on their other platforms. For example, if they have a podcast, connect with them there and listen to what they have to say while going for a walk outside or even doing the dishes. I personally love listening to other podcasts because I just love learning. So I love learning new things. All while I do laundry, I get ready for the day, driving, walking, etc. So, you can also subscribe to people's newsletters and blog. And so by connecting with people via their other channels that aren't necessarily clickbait apps, it can make you still feel connected and plugged in and receiving similar information they are probably sharing on their Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok anyways. So, there's just another tip there is they probably do have a blog. Go subscribe to it, listen to their podcast, and look for alternate outlets that they have so that you're not on an app scrolling mindlessly and getting sidetracked and ultimately just like taking 3 hours out of your day where you normally wouldn't have done something like that. All right, so emails. I know emails aren't technically social media, but I kind of just wanted to share some tips that I have and that could be helpful for you if you get just inundated with emails daily. So again, time blocking, that is key. So for me, I will try and check emails between X time and X time. And even certain days, like maybe I won't even check an email, emails on a day and just be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or, whatever. And that's super helpful. Or you can just check it first thing in the morning, last thing at night, whatever fits into your schedule. Okay, now this is a little tricky tip and I'm almost embarrassed to share it, but hopefully you take it as a good thing. And if you're a brand listening, this is what I do sometimes. I'll just admit to it. I type up emails and then I send them later in the evening or super early at night. So I schedule the email to go out later that day. This is super helpful, and here's why. So if you receive an email and you want to type it up and you send it right back, I'm sure you've been in this position. You send it right back when you get the email, and then they get it, and then they respond right back to you. So they're on, they know you're on. And so then you start this like chit chat thing going on and you end up like emailing back and forth for like 45 minutes and you don't get anything else done. So for me, it's helpful to write out the email, send it at like 1 a.m. or whatever, because then you can kind of just go on with your day and you don't go into this back and forth email thing, because it's happened to me before. Sometimes I have to do it if it's a pressing thing. But if it's not pressing, it allows you to get other things done, because then you end up sitting at your desk for 2 hours going back and forth with 15 different emails. I think you get what I'm saying. So scheduling sends is super helpful. Now, I recently did this, and that's turning off notifications on my phone for emails, like not the ding, but like the little red dot or the banners or the bells. So I used to have the red dot on my phone for my email, and it would tell me, how many emails I would have. And I would look at my phone, I would be like, oh my gosh, I got another email. I got another new email. Oh my gosh. And like anxiety would actually like go up. And so I made the switch and I turned off notifications, including the little red dot. And so now if I look at my phone, if I look at my email app, I have no idea if I have a new email, if I have 100 emails or 0 emails. Doesn't tell me. So I make a point to only check my emails when I am at my computer, and then I'm sitting down, I'm ready. So I'm not just like constantly looking at my phone, checking and being like, oh my gosh, because I can definitely tell my anxiety goes up every time I get a new email and I look at my phone. So just turn off those notifications. Honestly, if it's that important, they'll call. And honestly, people understand. The older I get, I'm like, look, the person on the other side of the email, they have a life too. They probably don't want to get an email right back. So they're probably in the same boat that you are in. So these are, again, just little tweaks and simple ways to, quote, digitally detox by limiting the time of use, time blocking, unfollowing, really just focusing on the task at hand and, just not caring. Really, because I feel like a lot of people are on social media because maybe they're just so interested and caring or not caring in a good way, but like they're just so, I don't even know what the word is, but you know what I mean? I think this is a cue for me to just end this episode right here because it is the end of the day here when I'm recording, and I think my brain is fried. So maybe I should do a little digital detox right now and end my day. I hope you guys enjoyed this bite of knowledge. I will see you guys on Wednesday. We'll talk then. Thanks for listening to this episode of Digest This. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review in your podcast app to let us know. If you're ever wondering how you can support me and this podcast, sharing it with your friends and family is the best way. This is a Resonant Media production produced by Drake Peterson and edited by Mike Fry. To email the show, message us at digestthis.pod@gmail.com. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team first.